Another thing about hip hop at the time, hip hop and house music had a brief marriage. You know, like you know.
That was earlier though. That was like '89.
It was like the beginning of the divorce, though.
House You. Yeah, it was.
The Yakid K's and stuff, right?
Yeah, that was not a particularly bright period.
Yeah, we had an MC Brains come out in anyway.
91, Oochie Coochie.
No
la,
way.
La, la.
Oochie Coochie.
Oochie
Oochie Coochie.
Shoot, I'm about to play it. I'm YouTubing it. I'm on it.
Yo, that was she called me up. Dude, I was in. Alright, so that's 91. I was in sixth grade, right? I mean,
I was
junior in college.
Fifth grade, whatever. You know what? I could ejaculate, but it wasn't semen. That's how old I was in 1991.
When I hear that, I wish the merry-go-round store comes back so I can shop and get some more skids. And that was the time, like, yeah, you know, and we played Rap Promoter before off of Low End Theory. You reviewed that in your book. That was the album that pretty much made me go back and do my homework. I remember having steel-toe shoes, dressing up in front of the mirror to practice my kid and play dance moves and all that stuff. And I heard the Excursions on the ride home from when I bought it from Strawberries. I was like, I gotta go back and do my homework. It's time.
Low End Theory was serious. I mean, it's just interesting too in the history of even Tribe Called Quest, who, you know, people forget that their first album, even though it was dope, was not like a fully recognized effort. I think a lot of people.
Well, maybe if they had made it like something that people could pronounce.
Yeah.
Like, or saying like a single
17-word title.
That's hilarious. Imagine right now somebody trying to make a record with that name, even like on an independent label. They'd be like laughed out of the industry.
It's true. But they regrouped too. You know, they really were. They actually kept their record label out of the studio. They would come down and try and hear the tracks, and they wouldn't let them hear them because they didn't want them to interfere. And you know, they were very serious, like on lockdown when they were making that record, which I think kind of shows in the tone of the record and the way it came out.
Yeah,
certainly
it's one of the greats. I love it. It's
incredible record. Every track.
Great like fold out too, and like great cover art and everything.
Cover art indeed.
The first album was more or less like kind of an extension of the whole De La Soul Daisy Age kind of sound in a way.
It was. They had their own flavor. I remember that they played the Channel in Boston, which people may not remember, but it was awful. It was like really, really horrible live
show. Did they headline,
MC
or was
Search was the MC for the night. Like,
is that the night that John P. still talks about, that he's like still mad because he wanted to like battle MC Search type of thing?
Maybe, but I just remember Search was just such an obnoxious moron that I was like, wow. I almost turned me off. I think that must have been an '89.
Should have given him the gas face, dude.
Yeah.
But so, you know, Tribe wasn't very good. A lot of people kind of romanticize, they think back on these groups and romanticize that they were these fully formed entities and they were perfect when their first record came out. And you know, a lot of people talk about De La Soul, and their first shows were just completely awful.
They just dedicated a Frank 151 issue to them, talking about that.
Yeah,
you heard it here first, folks. Hip hop has always sucked live.
No, but De La like turned it around really quick. You know, actually, one of the funniest things De La Soul stories is they used to get in fights like all the time, like on the tour for 3 Feet High and Rising, because people would just clown them all the time.
I want to wear those yellow jeans.
They would like jump off stage, and you know, they were just really reacting.
That's my Africa necklace. Yeah, not yours.
But like people were clowning them, and they just weren't taking it. You know, they weren't these kind of
fights with people in the crowd.
Oh yeah. So you know, it was funny. They'd always be getting calls, bail them out because they're just got sick of it and started pounding on some dude again. It was like, De La Soul?
Yeah, speaking of De La Soul, we actually got a song from a member of their, former member of their crew, which they actually ended up beefing with, getting back together with, and beefing with again, whatever. The Jungle Brothers, I got a song called I Get a Kick Out of You from that, I say Red Hot and Cool, Red Hot and Blue soundtrack from '91. Do you remember that?
I do. That was an interesting... That was when, like that era was when people started really stretching out and saying, okay, hip-hop's done this, we've done that, we've done this, like what else can we do, and it hadn't gotten to the point where you got when you were maybe like 95, 96, where from 95, 96 onwards, especially on major labels, it all of a sudden became okay to copy people and bite. You know,
Right.
and before that, like that was the one thing.
It's forbidden fruit.
You just could not do it. You would never consider it. And that'd be an interesting. You should do some muckraking journalism. Who was the first biter ever?
Yeah.
Who got away with it?
I remember C. Ray's Wells told me that, like, when he was a kid, if he walked out of his, apartment in the Bronx, and he had the same like T-shirt on that someone wore 5 days earlier, just get hemmed up in a hallway, and he's like, yeah. After that, I looked out the window. If someone had that shirt on, and it came up because I asked him, like, dude, what's with these like bracelets that you wear? He's like, since I'm a kid, I just try to wear things that nobody else can wear. So now he's all set because nobody else is wearing like football helmets on stage at South by Southwest in like 100-degree weather. But
yeah, but that's
props
one of the
to C. Ray's Walls, by the way, one of the most original MCs of all time. Great freestyle.
Sick freestyle.
Well, see, that's the thing that I think is too bad. It's not bad that people make kind of mediocre music in the modern age, but I think it's too bad that I think a lot of kids coming up are listening to music that's unimaginative. Because I think that the stuff that I was brought up on, like you automatically